So I've got a sticky throttle, and I guess broken throttle here on a PW50. Excuse the fashionable footwear. I don't have a manual. I've looked a little bit online. I've seen a couple things, so I think I'm just going to get into it, see if I can figure it out. Yeah, right where that throttle cable goes into the assembly, it's broken. So my son's learning how to ride, and whenever it sticks, it's obviously freaks him out. So, and rightfully so. So I'm not sure what I'm getting into, but I've heard that. So of course there's an oil pump. There's one cable that goes down underneath the tank, and then it splits into two cables, one going into the carburetor and the other into the oil pump. When I bought the bike, the guy said that he bypassed the oil pump. I don't know if that means he just quits pouring oil in the tank up there, or what. I don't know what that means, or if he just disconnected the throttle. So I'll take a look at it when I get underneath there. So right now I'm just going to pull off some parts and see if I can document, maybe make it a little bit easier for you. So here are the parts I got. This is the actual main cable that goes into the throttle. This is the one that goes into the pump. I'll put all the part numbers in the bottom. And this is the one that goes into the carburetor. Not sure why I ordered this. I just looked at the assembly. I think this is the cap. I think that might be the part. Hard to see. I'll break it out in the back in a second. Underneath the tank. And I think this is the cap that goes into, I believe, I don't know, either the oil pump or the carburetor. So I'll pull it all out of the bag, I'll show you what they look like, and I'll put the part numbers in there. I don't know why I ordered these. I think it was pretty inexpensive, so I just threw it in there just in case I had any problems replacing it. Well, background music. To loosen up this slack.
Orlando's Rock Station.
Kind of hard to do one hand, but I think that's going to do the trick, just kind of pry it that way. Sweet. So the cable's like this. Basically you move the cable back like this, and you pull it, slide it out of that mechanism. So pull it back out of it, and then it slides right out of that hole.
Time for a sports update with the Shot Doctor.
Yes, indeed. He now joins me in studio from the
Might be easier to take this off. I think I got it.
Biggest weekend in sports. Afternoon, Shot Doctor.
Rickerman, good evening. It is good to see you again.
Chad, we got ourselves a little football game taking place this weekend.
It's on Sunday, the Super Bowl. I'm going to go with 26-18. Carolina win. That's 44 points total. 26-18 is a lot of field goals. This is going to be a very different and unique game with
Alright, so let me show you where we're at. So basically I disconnected at the throttle the cable here, and it was kind of rav-fished through the forks here. So it goes down to a connector here. You can see it. To this connector here, I think I got a new one of these caps, is what I ordered. I believe this just pops off, and this is the top part of the cable. This is one assembly. Then beyond this part, it goes down to the carburetor there, and I think this is the carburetor line here, and this is the oil pump here. I think, it's hard to see, but that's the oil pump down there. And I don't know, but I believe they said they disconnected it, whatever that means. So there is a little thing down there. Just don't know enough about this bike yet to figure it out, but so I don't know if that goes into somewhere, or there was a line right there, whatever. So anyways, there's two cables. I'm not sure, I may or may not replace these. I have them. So it's one of those things where if I'm here, I might as well do it, but do I really need to? So one good thing about having the part and looking at it before you pull off the old one is it looks like this cap, there's nothing, there's no threads in there. So the one that's on there already, right there, should just pop off, and then that should connect right off, and I can put a new cable on there. So we'll see. Alright, so I was able to get that off. That cover's basically popped off. And there's a little, basically connects up in there. I can't really tell. So it looks like it's going to be easier for me to just take the whole cable to the carburetor off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then it may help me figure out how much of that is really needed. Potentially you didn't have to take the fuel tank off, get seat off, all that kind of stuff, but I'll get into that in a second. Alright, so I'm just going to take it off the carburetor. Alright, basically what I had to do is push the throttle cable, just be very gentle, you don't want to kink it, but push it back out, down through that way, and basically it came out through here, and then once I got it all out through here in the front, I pushed it back out through this way just to give it to me at this point. So now I should be able to push back this plastic piece, but we'll try that part now. As best I can tell, see if you can get a look down in there. There's a little white piece, maybe black. It's holding the upper cable in, and on the back side of that is the lower cables. In my case I only have one, you probably have two. One goes to the carburetor and one should go to the oil pump. I've actually, so this is a used bike, so the owner before, looks like they told me they bypassed the pump. I think that's the pump, and you can kind of tell the workmanship there wasn't very good. From what I understand, it's kind of tricky to get the cable out, so my guess is they tried to do this before, got into some issues, and yeah, so I think they just plugged the line, disconnected the cable. There should be, I guess, a second cable that goes into here. Second little bump, there we go. So one cable, the one that's connected, that goes to the carburetor, should be one right next to it that goes to the oil pump, which I believe, again, is right there. I don't know, you can look that part up. So it looks like in order to get the top cable out of there, that little thing, which is this thing, we need to get some slack. So both of those cables, I believe, have to be loosened up, to get that out of there, to put the new cable in, put it all back together. So that's what I'm going to do. So for me, job only appears to be loosen it up at the carburetor. So we'll see. So not sure if you can see this, but basically the throttle cable ends right there. Get a light. Ends right there. So I need to disconnect it, get some slack. That's basically the slide that goes in the carburetor. So disconnect it. Need to push that way, get some slack, disconnect it, give it some slack that way, and I'll just go ahead and put in the new cable at this point. So there's a look at what was in there. So facing out of the tube, the throttle cable goes into there, and on the back the pump goes on one side and the carburetor goes on the other side. So yep, basically had to loosen it up, take the slide all the way out, take the cable out, push it down, loosen it up, get some slack, push it down, get the cable out of there, then this comes off and spring the whole thing. So a lot of work for a throttle cable, but definitely recommend going ahead and getting all three. I mean, you're basically taking it all apart anyways. So I'm not sure why this one was in there. If we can focus on it, there we go. There we go. That one was in there. I don't know if it's part of the, when they did the quote-unquote upgrade to bypass the oil pump. But this is the replacement. That's the one that most people are used to seeing. So forgive my workbench here, toilet that I need to replace. So this is the cable that goes all the way down to the carburetor. So this part's going to go into the slide, boom, feed it into here. There we go. And then here's the other piece. This is the upper throttle cable. And then it's going to go into here. I'm assuming, don't quote me on it, but if you have the oil pump cable, it's got to go on this side or one side, and the throttle goes in the other, or the carburetor goes in the other. Well, if I can do this, it's kind of hard with these cheesy gloves. It's probably best to hold it here and push this over there. Once you get it in there, oh shoot. Hold it here and push that over there, and it should keep both cables intact. Shoot, I don't know if that was on camera, so let me do it again. Basically, put the carburetor cable there, put the plastic tube over, and now it's going to hold both of those. Boom. So generally speaking, that's how it works. I'm going to obviously do it on the bike, and then refish the cables.
Bye.